All right. We have big news. Big news, everybody, that everyone will just see, get outraged for about 30 seconds on, and move on. But we have a spicy new thread from Jim Jordan about the Facebook files. Now, if you aren't one of the beautiful people and intelligent people that already watch my videos, you know that not only Twitter, but Facebook, Instagram, every major social media company is infested with former FBI, CIA, and various defense company groups. They've retired and now they work at, Bud Light and Twitter and Facebook and YouTube. Nothing to see here. They're all former CIA and FBI. Everyone knows that when you retire from the FBI, you're done forever. You never do any of those things that are going on out there that we might think of. But Jim Jordan just dropped the Facebook files, and it's the smoking gun. So let's take a look at this. By the way, happy to have a sponsor for this section. Listen, the economy is not going back to how it was before. Remember how quickly it all went bad? I mean, look at interest rates right now. First, it was inflation, then a housing market bubble, which we're in right now. Banks started crashing, and now the Fed is laying the groundwork for digital currency. Your money is being attacked from almost every angle. So at this point, you could bury your head in the sand and pretend everything will get better, or you can take advantage of this opportunity to protect your wealth while you still can. Write this down, quarteringgold.com, because you'll not only get the chance to protect your retirement savings now, you could also get up to $10,000 in free silver from my partner Goldco. Sean Hannity also uses them. You heard that right, $10,000 in free silver from Goldco when you visit quarteringgold.com. Link will be down below. So don't miss what could be your best opportunity to protect your retirement savings today. Head on over to quarteringgold.com to learn more. Jim Jordan, Representative Jim Jordan. The Facebook Files Part 1. Smoking gun documents prove that Facebook censored Americans because of the Biden White House pressure. What? Well, I, for one, am shocked and appalled. Again, you'd have to be living in a cave to not by now know that our government, here in the United States that is, actively worked through intermediaries to suppress Americans' First Amendment rights. That's exactly what they did, in my opinion. They worked with Twitter directly through Elvis Chan, who's an FBI agent in California, to suppress just about anybody. In particular, it was many conservatives from having, and using the tool they used to infringe on our rights were these nonprofit or university groups or NGOs or whatever they're called, or direct FBI asking but not asking type emails to Facebook, Twitter, and everyone else, where they'll say, "Ooh, yeah, I don't know. This account looks pretty weird. Hate to open an investigation into Twitter. I mean, if you decide to ban them, that would, that's okay. You can ban them. You don't have to ban them. Whatever you want to do." This was going on for years, and by the way, is still going on at most major social media outlets, including YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. I would suspect that Twitter is still involved in some way, working with the government. Never before released internal documents subpoenaed by the judiciary community prove that Facebook and Instagram censored posts and changed their content moderation policies because of unconstitutional pressure from the Biden White House. During the first half of 2021, social media companies like Facebook faced tremendous pressure from the Biden White House, both publicly and privately, to crack down on, quote, misinformation. Now, of course, misinformation is, as we know, just like hate speech, it's just words or information that the powers that be don't like. And in April 2021, a Facebook employee circulated an email for the Facebook CEO Mark Zuckerberg and COO Sheryl Sandberg, writing, "We are facing continued pressure from external stakeholders, including the Biden White House, to remove posts." You see, here's the email. We're seeking your guidance on whether or not to take a more aggressive action against certain poke discouraging content. We're facing continued pressure from external stakeholders, including the White House and press, to remove more poke discouraging content. This was all sorts of stuff, from just talking about, side effects to talking about maybe reasons not to. They weren't just like taking down legitimate. They weren't talking about taking down like legitimate misinformation. It was just like anything that would discourage people from running out and getting the jab. In another 2021 email, Nick Clegg, Facebook's president for global affairs, informed the team at Facebook that Annie Slavitt, a senior advisor to President Biden, was outraged that Facebook did not remove a particular post. Like, aren't these people supposed to be protecting our country and they're trolling Facebook? Just got off a long call with Annie Slavitt, and there's some pretty serious and sensitive issues we need to address. A summary. As an example, he was outraged, not too strong a word to describe his reaction, that we did not remove a post which was third most highly ranked post in the data set we sent him. What did the Biden White House want removed? That's right, a meme. A meme. That's right, even memes weren't spared from the Biden White House's censorship efforts. The meme here says, 10 years from now, you'll be watching TV and hear, did you or a loved one take the poke? You may be entitled. It's an obvious point out, or, if you watch daytime television, it's always like, mesothelioma. Do you or a loved one work around whatever, asbestos? Or did you or a loved one ever get a bladder mesh? You could be entitled to zillions of dollars by calling this number. So it's making fun of that, which, by the way, I guarantee you these commercials will be airing, and it probably won't be 10 years from now. While Clegg countered that removing content like that would represent a significant incursion into traditional boundaries of free expression in the United States, senior Biden official Slavitt disregarded the warning and the First Amendment, writing, I countered that removing the content that would represent a significant incursion in traditional boundaries of free expression in the United States, but he replied that the post was directly comparing the poke to asbestos poisoning in a way that demonstrably inhibits confidence in the poke amongst those the Biden administration is trying to reach. And again, this wasn't the Biden administration saying, somebody said the best way to take it is by putting it in your eyeball, example. This was like somebody making a meme, and Joe Biden's team was like, we can't make fun of the poke. Everyone has to get it to get back to normal. What happened next? Of course, Facebook panicked. In another April 2021 email, Brian Rice, Facebook's vice president of public policy, raised the concern that Slavitt's challenge felt, quote, very much like a crossroads for us with the Biden White House in the early days. You know what's wild to me? Why are these social media people feel the need to even be talking to the government? Facebook wanted to repair its relationship with the White House to avoid adverse action. Given what's at stake here, I assume they mean Section 230, it would be a good idea that if we could regroup and take stock of where we are in relations to the White House and our internal methods too, essentially saying we should bend the knee. This wasn't the first time that the Biden White House was angry at Facebook and that they didn't censor more. According to these documents, the Biden White House demanded to know why Facebook had not censored a video from Tucker Carlson. So Facebook prepared its response. To appease the Biden White House, talking points were drafted for Clegg. Facebook was ready to tell the White House that it had demoted, shadow banned, a video posted by Tucker Carlson by 50% in response to the White House's demands, even though the post didn't violate any policies. Now, again, let me reiterate that. Facebook admitted that the video itself did not violate any policies on its own platform, yet Joe Biden's White House demanded it be suppressed, and Facebook complied. This seems like Tucker Carlson should be able to sue Facebook to me. I'm no expert, though. Public pressure mounted as well. In July 2021, President Biden publicly denounced Facebook and other social media platforms, claiming they were ending people by not censoring alleged misinformation. On August 2nd, 2021, Facebook admitted that it was going to change its policies because of pressure from the Biden White House. On August 2nd, 2021, Facebook's leadership asked misinformation policy to brainstorm some additional policy levers we can pull to be more aggressive against misinformation. Again, let me translate that. Can we make up some new rules so that we can enforce them against the American citizens' First Amendment rights when the Biden White House asks us to infringe on their First Amendment rights? This is stemming from the continued criticism of our approach from the Biden admin. But it wasn't just the White House. Facebook also changed its policies in direct response to pressure from Biden's Surgeon General, censoring members of the Disinformation Dozen. These documents and others that were just produced to the committee prove that the Biden administration abused its powers to coerce Facebook into censoring Americans, preventing free speech and open discourse on issues of critical public importance. By the way, also infringing on our First Amendment rights, kind of a thing. Only after the committee announced its intention to withhold Mark Zuckerberg in contempt, did Facebook produce any internal documents to the committee, including these documents, which prove that the government pressure was directly responsible for censorship on Facebook. Based on Facebook's newfound commitment to fully cooperate with the committee's investigation, the committee has decided it will hold contempt in abeyance for now. To be clear, contempt is still fully on the table and will be used if Facebook fails to cooperate in full. To be continued. Yikes. I mean, I want to see some, proverbial heads rolling over this. Our government was using different levers, in particular it was social media, to infringe on Americans' First Amendment rights. That's kind of a thing.